So let me show you what I mean by this. This is what made me start thinking about Revelations. Look at this mountain right here. You know, you can see this is a mountain, a community right here, and you can see it's already started. Just look at the power of this 7.5. This isn't even a 9 point or 10 point. Just the mountain's infrastructure is just crumbling. That layer is just coming down. So you see the sheer power that I'm talking about there. I'm going to pull up another video for you guys. Now this one is a little sad. I hope everybody's okay. And this one, I'm going to play this video from, again, this is from an earthquake that just happened. I think it would be April 3rd over there. It's April 2nd here. I want to show you guys how quickly an earthquake can just devastate a whole area. I know sometimes people are afraid of tornadoes and that path, and they are destructive, but an earthquake is, that whole area is under the land movement's mercy. Actually, that's probably all bad. You know, my bad. I didn't realize that the whole building collapsed. That's really sad. Let me show you some other clips from this earthquake. Here's another video of the earthquake in China, in Taiwan, where they're on a bridge. And these people, they handle it pretty well. No one's jumping out of their car and running off the bridge. They're just kind of going with the flow a little bit. Let's watch. Look at that. That's right there. That bridge was built very, very, very well. Here's another video of a side of a mountain, so you can kind of see that this was
从的地震汤方从的地震汤方哦，你看这里，我的车在这边。
As you can see, this earthquake was intense, a 7.5. It was a very strong earthquake. It was, sides of mountains were coming down, buildings were collapsing, bridges were swaying. I got more to show you. It gets crazier. Now this guy got it a little bit late, but you can see this building's infrastructure fail catastrophically.
里面有没有人？赶快离开！
Jeez, I think that's the front door too. I mean, these are real people going through these, this catastrophic earthquake in real time, and they're helpless. There's nothing they can do until the ground stops shaking. Now, this video is not as good. It's a dash cam, but the reason why this one was crazy to me because I drive a lot, and so I was just thinking about encountering an earthquake, and hopefully everyone's going to stop. You'll watch this video here, and you see, again, there's not much you can do. You're just kind of have to wait it out a lot, all the time, not some of the times, all the times. You just have to wait it out and get to the safest spot that you possibly can. And that's really hard when the earth is shaking like this. Watch these vehicles. Look at those vehicles just shaking back and forth. Still going on. Looks like it has changed the way that it's shaking, but it's still shaking. That first shaking was pretty violent.
Wow.
Yeah, that right there was crazy. You see that if you're on one of those high passes, those bridges, if you're stuck in traffic somewhere where you don't want to be, I could see a lot of anxiety, being filled with. It looks like everybody's being calm for the most part and just kind of staying in their car, just waiting it out. And I'm glad these people are okay. Let's check out another video. Now, this was another video that made me just think about the power in Revelations 11's earthquake and the power of God and the power of an earthquake and how dangerous it truly is and how truly helpless we are. I've been using that word. We're just helpless. We just have to wait it out. But this kind of puts things into perspective where this earthquake that just happened is tossing this river around like a toy, like a child playing with like a river in their hand, and they're just shaking and manipulating it. Watch this video. Look at that river just rocking back and forth. That's not a pool. That's a whole river. There's not much you could do if you were in that. Not much you could do at all. Now, maybe you're thinking that you can run away like everybody else. I'm just going to run away real quick and I'm going to get to safety. I remember when I was a little kid and it was an earthquake in the morning on my way to school. I was actually playing a video game. I was sitting there, I was dressed, so I had some extra time to play my little video game that I was so happy that I got for my birthday. Shout out to you, Mom, for making it happen. I appreciate you. And I think I was going to second or third grade, and the earth started shaking. And I don't know if I paused my game or I dropped it. It was like, Mom. And I remember trying to run towards her, and I was running towards her room from the living room. There's the hallway to her room. Yeah, you got to get to Mama. So I ran towards her, and the ground was moving, and I tripped and fell. And I remember hitting my knee and falling on the ground hard and being scared, but just getting back up and just trying to run towards my mom. Well, when earthquakes happen, it's hard to move, especially when, depending on the way that they sway, if they're jolty versus a sway, you could really lose your footing real quick. And if you're an older person or an elderly person, you could definitely hurt yourself. And a fall for an elderly person is very, very dangerous. Had a family member who is a senior citizen fall, and we've had those discussions. I'm not going to give away their business, but they've told me that these falls break bones. And I mean, the emergency system is inundated with helping everybody, but they can get a buildup, something in your bloodstream. I forget if it's lactic acid or something like that. You get the buildup, and it can be very, very dangerous for somebody that's old. They need to get treated right away. So the reason why I'm saying that is, in an earthquake, you might be thinking I could just run away from it all. But check this out as these people experience an earthquake and kind of try to assess their surroundings.
等一下，先不要放手，地震。
超夸张的，
这个有7级了吧？
超过了，还在震哦。等一下，这很像。你看那个山的声音都出来了。
趴着就好，趴着。
地震。等一下，先不要放手，地震。
There's really nothing you can do. I mean, you just watch for, try to make sure that you're out of the way, possibly crawl to somewhere where a tree is not going to break. But right there, who knows which tree is going to break? I mean, there's no way you could really calculate that. Here's one of the subway or the train or subway system, metro system. And luckily this one was not moving. Let's take a look. It looks like they got the end of that. Some people are laughing about it. That's a normal reaction when something like that happens, is to kind of laugh about the situation. I mean, it's a form of relief, or maybe they thought it was genuinely funny, not sure. So you can't really make light of this situation, but what I can do is show you something that is cool about animals. Looks like this dog had the heads up and knew it was going to happen. So go buy yourself a dog. Take a look at this dog right here. Knows about the earthquake early, gives the owners a little bit of a heads up, but I don't know if the owners can decipher that this is a earthquake bark. Check it out. See, he knows. He gave the bark. Go gets the owners, lets them know, hey, earthquake's coming. And there it comes. Told you guys. She got back in her seat. Here's my last video. I wanted to end this one. I'm pretty sure this man's okay. This man's in a pool, that's right. What I like about this one, and you'll see it, is that this man doesn't try to swim to the side where I've seen people get really, really hurt because the waves just rocking them back and forth, rocks them. I mean, you could really, really drown. This guy might possibly have the best method as long as this pool doesn't bottom out and fall to the depths of wherever it is, or a hole opens up in the ground, etc., etc. I'm not even sure how that works. Let's take a look at this guy right here. Look at him just handling it. I don't know if he's kind of just, there's nothing really he can do. Just sit and wait. He's in a good spot. If he was over there to the right here, he'd be getting banged against. He'd be like this water, getting banged against the cement and the concrete. But he's right there in the middle, and he seems to be okay. And I figured I'd end on that note, which is kind of a, I mean, it's not a happy video, but it's kind of cool that the guy was okay. He didn't panic. He didn't run into the wall, and he's trying out a new, maybe that's the best thing to do in a pool. I don't know what to do in a pool, and I definitely should, since we live in earthquake country. So this, there was a tsunami alert that got dropped, and there's major loss coming from Taiwan, and there's lots of videos of this 7.5 earthquake which hit Taiwan, and they're saying it hit Japan, but I haven't seen anything on Japan yet. I just kind of looked at this and it made me think of Revelations, and I was thinking, should I do a video? And I was like, well, at least I could share the video clips with everybody. You guys can see the video clips here for yourself. Let's pray for them. Let's keep them in prayer. It says you can consider donating to a disaster relief fund allocated by the government, or supporting rescue teams and local emergency crews involved in the efforts. So I don't have anything up here right now to be able to help them. When I saw the mountains and I saw the river, it really reminded me of Revelations, of how tiny and toy-like what we perceive as these massive pieces of earth, things on earth, a river, you couldn't fight a river, you couldn't move a river, you could swim across a river. If the current was too strong, the river would take you. These mountains, you climb them, hike them, they're tough to conquer, but these things are conquered just so effortlessly by an earthquake. And it was a big earthquake. It could have been bigger. So prayers out to China. Like I said, search for a legitimate disaster relief fund. Thank you guys for letting me share this and bring in the correlations to Revelations 11:3. God, family, country. Stay blessed.